guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to install the polyurethane spoiler that I showed you guys I painted in the last episode on the car. Now this doesn't get screwed on. This has a 3M double-sided tape, and they're supposed to have very strong adhesive, and I am sort of, I'm 50-50 about it. I don't know if it's actually gonna hold or not, but you know, we're gonna give it a try. Hopefully it'll hold. But before we do that, we gotta prep the surface. So I already cleaned this area. I wiped it down, make sure there's no dust. Next, we have to center it. Now, the easiest way to center it, I believe, is the brake light. Just find the middle point of the brake light. So get yourself a ruler, and from point A to point B is 7.5 inches. So it'll be 3 3/4, which, funny enough, there's like a little center hole right here. It's like a circle that shows the center of this brake light. So what I'm gonna do is grab small painter's tape. Put the painter's tape here, as close as I can get it, and I'm gonna rip it off from here. And just mark this center like so. Okay? And then I'm gonna do the same with the spoiler. Now, this spoiler also, if you guys can see it, has a little gap between here and here, which I'm gonna get the center of this. Hopefully my ruler is long enough, which is not. So I'm gonna get a tape measure and do it. Okay, so I have my tape measure, and before I do that, I am going to place this, you know, somewhere that I think it's actually the middle, which is something around there. And I'm gonna have my marker ready, and we're gonna measure this from one end to another. This looks like 13.5, so it'll be 6 3/4. That'll be the half. 6 3/4. And that's the center of the spoiler. Next, just to double check our measurements, we're just gonna place this like this, like so, line up the lines, and just do a little, you know, eye comparison, making sure everything is actually where it's supposed to be, and everything looks good to me. And now we're gonna get into the installation part. Since this thing is like really heavy, like it keeps falling, what I'm gonna do is get your painter's tape again. So you're gonna cut few long strips, put it here. Don't go all the way down yet, since this kind of curves, so you want to make sure the center point doesn't move. So we're going to put another one here just to make sure everything is set, and then we're going to come back and center this again. Make sure you know exactly where you want your spoiler, as far as like how deep or how far to the edge you want it. I want it as far to the edge as I can. So this is centered. I'm gonna flatten it, and I'm going to put that tape there, flatten it, put the tape there, but you're not done yet. So this is where it starts. So I am going to make an incision with a box cutter, cut these tapes in half, and slowly just peel it as I set the spoiler down. So you want to do it one side at a time. You don't want to go out too far out, because you don't want to stick it, then take it off, then stick it, and take it off, because what that's going to do is going to take that adhesive from the tape away. So get your trusty box cutter right in the center. We're going to do that. There's one incision, and there's a second incision. So we're going to peel the first one. You want enough so you could actually grab it as you put it down. So the rear, you want it a little bit long, because you're going to be pulling both at the same time. There's that. And that. All right, moment of stress. Because this is something you don't want to really mess up. I see that I left some fingerprints here. I'm gonna quickly just wipe that down. And since it's so hot in here, we can just dry it up so quickly. All right, so let's start setting this up. Okay, so this is now on there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift this up and slowly peel these away as I set this down. And you know what else I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to put some light under here so I can see what I'm doing. So start peeling away. Put some pressure on it, making sure it's glued on. Now we're going to move to the other side and do the same thing. You don't have to rush it, take your time, making sure you are peeling off the sticker off the adhesion tape. And don't rush it, guys. Absolutely don't rush it. push it down firmly, making sure there's adhesion. Do a little play, making sure it's not loose. This was the easiest installation of all times. I cannot believe how easy this was. And just run your fingers through and make sure, you know, the gaps are pretty even, and this looks pretty even to me. Very, very even. And finally, you want to take the tapes off slowly. And that's it. Okay guys, I just wiped it down, cleaned it off a little bit, but look at this beauty. Look how good she looks. She's in there tight. Let's have a look from the bottom. Very, very clean. So, and it doesn't seem like it wants to move. So this was by far the easiest job I've done on this car, and it just looks stunning. I like the black on blue. I'm also thinking of getting some black rims for this car, but that's going to be a later on expense, but not right now. But look how good this thing looks. This thing looks just amazing. So very, very easy job. Doesn't take, I mean, the only time consuming thing was the painting portion. Installation, literally just a few minutes. It doesn't take long to install this thing. It looks amazing. So if you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions. Until the next project.